I'm very excited about the next item on our agenda, which is recognition of our OEA ESP of the Year. To kick that off, I'm going to show you a short video about today's
My name is Cheryl Williams. I'm an administrative secretary in Dublin City Schools, and I love my job. When I started my first job in 2001 in public education, I started in the kitchen. And the school district that I was in, the classified staff, the education support professionals, were in a different association. And when I moved districts, the first ask was for membership. And I looked at the form and I was like, are you kidding? We can be a part of OEA with the teachers that we work alongside every day. And it was like, give me a pen, I'm ready right now. But I think that when I talk to my members about the value of membership, I talk about the voice. And the thing that I love the most, and the most important part I think that we play as education support professionals in a student's life is the relationships that we build. They know that we are the trusted adults. They can change grades and change teachers and change classes, but I'm still going to be sitting at that front desk when they come in, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. I enjoy getting to see them grow and develop. Elementary is where it's at in my world. That's where I like to be. But I really think that the relationships that we build with our students is really the most important piece that we bring to the puzzle.
Dublin Support Association President Cheryl Williams is a true champion for Ohio's public school students and educators, especially education support professionals. After spending a decade and a half in the private sector, she began working in public education in 2001. First in the school kitchen, then as a part-time clinic aide, part-time office helper. She currently works as an administrative secretary at Mary Emma Bailey Elementary School in Dublin City Schools, and she will tell you she loves her job. It's clear that Cheryl's work is much more than a job for her. Yeah, she has a lot of responsibilities, from ensuring the school's security by handling every person who comes into the building to securing substitutes. And I think we all know that's definitely not an easy job these days. But more than that, Cheryl's work is about building relationships. She's a coach, leading the daily announcements with her 4th graders using the Character Strong program, and leading the 5th grade dodgeball team every year in the school district's annual fundraiser. I want to see that. She's a coordinator, managing the Dublin Support Association's annual food and toy drive that led to more than 3,000 pounds of food being donated to the local food pantry last year alone. And she's a trusted adult. She's the person her students can count on every single day. Cheryl's a trusted leader for the members of the Dublin Support Association, too. They've elected her as their president, looked to her as the local's negotiations chair, and benefited from her strengths and her advocacy for ESPs on the Central and OEA boards of directors, as well as her involvement at the NEA level. Cheryl's a graduate of the 2023 graduate of NEA's prestigious Education Support Professional Leadership Institute, ESPLI. And she wasted no time putting the skills she learned in that year-long program to work. You'll remember, Cheryl stood right here at the Spring RA a year ago to put forth the new business item that was adopted to ensure more recognition and respect for ESPs in OEA's advocacy work, so ESPs can have the respect, dignity, and living wage they deserve from their employers too. That is one of the many reasons I am so proud to recognize my friend, Cheryl Williams, as OEA's 2024 Education Support Professional of the Year. Cheryl.
Thank you. Good morning, delegates. It is my pleasure to be here today, even on a beautiful Saturday. This is the work we do, right? I'd like to start with some thank yous. I'll start with thanking OEA leadership for their guidance along the way and all that they do for us on a daily basis. The OEA Board of Directors, thank you for allowing me the privilege to serve with you for 6 years. Central, I stand on your shoulders. You're my family, and I thank you for accepting me and always taking me under your wings. Kathy Miller, thank you for saying yes to the ask. You're the best vice president, and I appreciate you more than you know. My family's here with me today. My husband, Dan, who I've been in love with since 1979. He's a retired letter carrier, and he sacrificed so much so that I could do this work. My daughter, Sarah, is a school counselor and a proud member of CEA. My son, Scott, is a second shift custodian in Southwestern City Schools, and we're so proud that you chose to follow your sister and I into this noble profession. As I look across this room today, I'm reminded of the first time that I had the courage to speak to a delegation, and it was at a Central RA. It was held at Worthington Kilbourne High School, home of our very own Scott DeMauro and Mark Hill. And as the story goes, it all started with the ask, right? My first ask came in 2011 when Patty Nyquist, a fierce advocate for public education, was leaving Dublin City Schools to join OEA. She recommended that I replace her on our Instruction and Professional Development Committee. Then, in January of 2012, when Scott was president of Central, I got an email from him confirming that appointment and also including another ask to join the ESP Advisory Committee, and that's when I jumped right in to the committee work that still evolves for me today. By April of 2014, it's hard to believe it was 10 years ago, I was asked by Kevin Griffin to run for the ESP position as representative on Central's board of directors. As I was preparing my speech for today, I looked back on that first speech I gave, and it immediately reminded me of all the reasons why I am still here and still doing this work. I wanted to share some of that with you today. My introduction went something like this. Scott said some of this already, so I'll go quick. I started my career in public education in 2001. Prior to that, I was an office manager for the largest screen printing company in Franklin County. Victoria's Secret was our #1 client in the 90s. I had quit my job to be a stay-at-home mom because I had a minivan, and that's what people did. But that didn't last long. I began volunteering at my son's elementary school and soon fell in love with the environment and found myself there 3 or 4 times a week. That was fun too, but I did miss working. I saw an ad in our paper to take in a civil service exam for Southwestern City Schools to be a cook. I thought, this would be perfect. I could still volunteer at my son's school. Luckily, I got hired, but it didn't take long to realize that was hard work. New schools opened, and the opportunity presented itself to move across the hall to be a 3-hour clinic aide and a 3-hour classroom aide. Yep, 6 hours a day, $9 an hour, no benefits. I continued taking the civil service exams as they were offered, and I finally ended up doing what I did best, being a secretary. The perfect combination of my private sector skills and working with children, and I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. Today I stand before you as the current president of Dublin Support Association, just re-elected to begin my 4th term. I'm still an administrative secretary, now at Bailey Elementary, where I recently told my staff the only thing I love more than the students is them. I also told them I used to say that I would do this job for free, but I don't do that anymore. As I have developed my why statement over the years, it always begins with, I like to help people. Now, I'm gold when it comes to true colors, and sometimes I can be aggressively helpful. If you know, you know. But it's truly my driving force. I consider keeping the school running my job. Helping students, assisting parents, supporting teachers and administrators, as well as every single member of the Dublin City Schools support staff. This is what brings me joy. Since then, I've served on way too many committees to mention, with the newest one being NEA Resolutions as an appointment by none other than NEA President Becky Pringle. I also said things like this. I recently attended my third NEA ESP National Conference in San Francisco and came back fired up and ready to find more ways to advocate for my education support professionals. We are all part of one education workforce serving the whole student. In March of 2024, I just attended my 13th NEA ESP conference, where I now feel at home as part of the NEA ESP family. As Scott said, I'm a proud graduate of the NEA's Leadership Institute, and I have become a True Colors facilitator and traveled on their behalf to train other ESPs across the nation. Listen to this. In 2014, I also said, there are constant threats to the career I love and the public education system that I believe in. From SB 5 to OTES, Common Core and SLOs, those were the days, right? Third grade guarantee and right to work. We have it coming at us from all angles, yet we stand together, work together, and fight together. We are all educators striving for what is best for students. What I am afraid of most is that people outside of our profession don't understand. Public schools don't exist so that adults can have jobs. Public schools exist so our students can learn. And now, all the things that have been thrown at us since then, right? Vouchers, CRT, book bans, Janus, crazy elections, COVID, and the mask debate. Yet here we are, still standing together and continuing to advocate for our students and the quality public education that they deserve. In my first speech, I said, then NEA President Dennis Van Rokel told us in San Francisco that courage is the ability to act in spite of fear and doubt, and power is our ability to act collectively. I have learned over the years that this is the absolute truth. My personal courage has been one thing that I think has grown the most on my journey. Even standing here today and accepting this award has elements of fear and doubt. Public speaking is definitely an art I'm still working on. I get nervous, my voice quivers, my hands sweat a little. Then the doubt creeps in, I get fired up again, and it takes courage. But our power to act collectively, that has become intoxicating. Not everyone enjoys a representative assembly as much as we do. But I know today that I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters who love it as much as I. I've always loved being a part of the team, and I truly believe the acronym, Together, Everyone Achieves More. In my first speech, I closed with, I have the courage to serve as the ESP representative on the Central Executive Board. Together, we have the power to make public education the best it can be for the students we serve. Today, I close with, every single day, we have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of the students we serve. Regardless of your role, but now, I specifically want to acknowledge the 9 career families of education support professionals who keep our schools districts running smoothly. It could be the bus driver or aide that kicks off the student's day by being the very first person to greet them with a smile, or the custodial and grounds and maintenance staff that spends their days, and sometimes their nights, making sure that our facilities are kept in tip-top shape so that teachers can focus on their classrooms and learning takes place in a clean and safe environment. Maybe you're a health support professional, like our clinic aides, taking care of our students when it comes to their personal health and wellness. Having this position in each of our schools is more important than ever with the growing health concerns of our students, and it became evident during the pandemic. Unfortunately, our food service workers continue to be the most commonly outsourced department in education. It is critical that we advocate to have the same caring, dedicated individuals in front of our students every day, providing them with nutritious meals and keeping them ready to learn. Don't forget about the skilled trades and technology professionals They are often behind the scenes, making sure that the services we rely on as educators are performing to the best of their ability. Everyone needs the HVAC and the internet to be dependable and reliable. Our security teams have also become critical elements, from securing the perimeters and hallways to supporting our students and staff during a crisis. It is reassuring to know that we have them on our teams. Paraprofessionals. According to Webster, para as a prefix means beside or adjacent to. So paras, embrace that title. You most certainly are the definition of the word. As a professional, you spend your days beside the teachers and adjacent to our most vulnerable students. Your mere presence is sometimes the most important part of their day. I continue to be amazed by your daily contributions and our students' progress and achievements under your guidance. Obviously, as an elementary school secretary, I saved clerical for the last but not least category. So I hope you don't mind indulging me while I give them a special shout out. Secretaries, our roles in education are so varied that as I prepared to acknowledge the other 8 job families, I saw so much crossover. We might not drive the bus, but we are often the first friendly face that greets the students as they enter our schools. We might not be custodial or maintenance either, however, but like good scouts, we always help where we're needed. So many of our school districts don't value the clinic aid position, so I know that many of you are still bandaging boo-boos and passing out ice, especially when the recess monster rears its ugly head. We aren't food service either, but if a student is hungry, we are finding ways to get them something to eat. We might not be the experts in technology, but that copier calls my name on a regular basis. And I personally am the queen of, did you try restarting your computer to see if that helped? Never did I ever think that we would be school security officers either. But here we are, so many secretaries, having the responsibility of discerning who gains entrance to our buildings while we are performing all these other feats of magic. And the meaning of the word para fits too. We have the distinct pleasure of working beside our esteemed teachers and staff members and adjacent to our beloved students. So right now, if you are an education support professional in this room, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Thanks for all you do every single day, ESPs. Teachers in the room, can you even imagine a day without an ESP? Finally, I now have the courage to stand up and speak out and continue to advocate for our rights to be recognized as the professionals we are. Our right to earn a thriving wage, because one job should be enough. And together, we have the power to advocate for the respect we deserve. ESPs, I see you, I hear you, and it will be my absolute honor and privilege to represent each and every one of you as the 2024 Ohio Education Association ESP of the Year. Thank you.
So before we move on to the next thing, yesterday, those of you who were at the awards luncheon had an opportunity to see Cheryl receive her ESP of the Year plaque, an award. But we have one more token of appreciation that I wanted to give you, Cheryl, on behalf of a very grateful association. Check token of our appreciation for your great work. Congratulations one more time, Cheryl Williams.
I'm so happy.